Land borders across the country are scheduled to reopen on Monday, February 7th. There are a few things you will have to keep in mind if you intend to travel, because going across won't be exactly as it was before the pandemic.
The decision has been made that border will be open on the 7th of February. There are protocols that will be placed in the SI.
The border will open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. Only fully vaccinated persons will be allowed to cross any of the land border points. Upon re-entry into Belize, there will be no need to take a test if you are away for less than 24 hours. But if your visit exceeds that amount of time, you will be required to take a test upon return at the whopping cost of $100 per person. What's the definition of fully vaccinated?
Well, currently we are talking about the person that have two doses of vaccines.
In terms of testing for persons returning after 24 hours, will they be charged for those tests?
Yes.
What's the price?
I believe it's the same fee that is paid currently at the border points. I don't remember, $100, I think. I think $100, yeah. Those are the fee that they will need to pay.
Are these tests coming from a private entity?
Yes. Those are the ones that are at the border. They currently exist, the same thing applies.
Sir, do you anticipate pushback on that particular protocol given the fact that you're now asking Belizeans to pay $100 for a test to overnight in Mexico?
I believe it's your choice if you want to go and travel. We are saying to you, if you want to go and travel over to Mexico or Guatemala, wherever you choose to go, that's your choice, your personal choice. The issue, though, when you come back, then you have to pay that fee. I think that's far from the point. The point is that we are now opening our borders, but we have to have certain restrictions. And it cannot be that we're just going to let loose everything. I mean, we have to put some measures in place. And that, just as you're coming into the airport, our land borders will apply the same. I mean, it has existed, just that now that we will allow Belizeans to leave once they're vaccinated.
And while you may have access to cheaper tests across the border, only tests paid for and done at the borders will be accepted upon return.
There's a lot of things you have to consider when it comes to land. Because I could travel to Mexico City, stop at Guadalajara, stop all over the place. And I may stay one night at a hotel that is overcrowded, maybe have COVID infections. I might go to another town and come in, and then when I reach Belize, you are to be tested. We want to ensure the safety of our citizens. People that are coming in are free from COVID.
What's the logic behind testing after a mere 24 hours when data shows that specifically Omicron variant detection doesn't come until after 3 days, the least?
Well, I'm no scientist, I'm no doctor, but I'm very sure Dr. Melissa will be able to add to that comment. But I can tell you the requirement is that once over 24 hours, once you overnight stay, then you will be required to test at the border facilities.
And with regards to the 24 hours, remember that in health we do surveillance. So the incubation period of this virus is anywhere from 1 to 14 days, right? So you can be exposed, and on day 13 you start with symptoms. Most commonly it's before 5 days. And the reason we've done the 24 hours is it's a true surveillance. We're trying to pick up cases. We are not saying that you got it from Mexico. We're not saying that, oh, you know, what you did over there.
You may also want to put aside additional cash if you are traveling on public transport with plans to stay across the border for more than 24 hours. Because if you happen to test positive upon return, you will be required to take a gold standard transportation back home. That is, unless you are in your own vehicle.
If a Belizean tests positive, what we are advising is that person then gets into one of the gold standard taxis or vans that are there, and they've been there on a regular basis because we've been open, I mean, for the tourist sector at least, and persons needing to travel since June of last year. So there are many trained gold standard transportation there. At the border points as well, we would be able to have the transport from the Ministry of Health and Wellness from Northern Region. Perhaps we could assign one van in order to ensure that if it's an emergency, we can help to facilitate. It's not something that we will want to promote and to say that this would be available.
So it's safe to tell Belizeans if you catch COVID in Mexico and you don't have the money for transport, the Ministry of Health will cover you.
No, I don't think that's something that we want to necessarily say that yes, that is the case. That's the exception. If there is absolutely no other way that you can go, we will try to assist. But before you travel, these things we've got to think about, all the responsibilities, everything that may happen, especially that we're still in this COVID pandemic.
As you make your plans to shop, dine, tour, or celebrate with a few cheap cervezas, don't expect to see your Minister of Health anywhere nearby.
I am safe right where I am. Thank you.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.